with Ember 1.13, the select view is deprecated. If you don't change your select views by Ember 2.0, they're going to break. In this episode, we'll look at several different options for getting rid of those deprecations. These three options are the ember-legacy-views add-on, creating a custom solution, and using the emberx-select add-on. The first option is to just use the ember-legacy-views add-on. Install this add-on and the deprecation will go away. No other changes needed. The downside is that the add-on will not be supported past Ember 2.4, so we'll need to find a better option. If you really don't want to update your select boxes, you can try the blockless form of emberx-select. Just change your select views to emberx-select components. They will probably have the form longer than Ember 2.4, but maintainers have said that they plan to extract blockless form to a separate add-on eventually. So that leaves us with actually changing our structure, using custom select boxes or emberx-select. So we'll use this select box as our example. Our first look will be at how to do it in plain Ember, and then we'll see how using emberx-select can do the same thing in less code. First, we're going to take our view select, our select view, and then put in a comment down below so we can use it for a reference. Then we'll take our select tag, we'll create that, and then we'll put an action in that select tag. The action will be called select tag type and will be triggered on change. So whenever the value changes, then the action select tag type will be triggered. Finally, we'll give it an ID of tag type select. We'll be using that in our action. So to get the options displaying, we're going to loop through each of the tag types. We're going to create an option for it, and then give it the value of that type, and then display that type as well. In this case, the types are just strings, so we can do this. In more complicated examples with an object, you may have to do the ID as the value, and then the title as the thing that's displayed, as an example. So that will get our options displaying. However, as you can see here, it says series in the select box, but it's actually a subject. So it's showing the wrong one. To get it to show the correct one, we'll need to create the selected field. So we'll take the selected field on the option, and then we'll do some calculations. So we'll use the equal helper, which we've gotten from Ember Truth Helpers, the add-on. And then we'll use that to compare the type of this option to the tag type of the model. And so select will be true if this option is the currently selected tag type. If we go to our app, we'll see that it preserves the subject instead of just taking the top one. So that's how you display it. But what about changing it? If we change it to series here and hit save, it'll stay as subject because we haven't done the action yet. So we're going to need to implement select tag type on our component. So we'll create the action select tag type. Then we'll grab the tag type select ID, grab the first one of that type, which is our selected element. Then we'll grab the selected index off that selected element, that's the value. And then we'll grab all of the options as an array. We'll grab the option that is in that index and take the value off of it. And then we'll assign that value to the model.tagType. That's pretty complicated, and it makes me glad that I don't usually have to work directly with the DOM. Let's check to see that it works. We'll choose series, save, and there we go. It's working. Let's start transforming this to emberx-select. First, we'll see that we have emberx-select in our package.json. So we're ready to go. I've already npm installed. Then we'll start transforming this select tag. We'll give it the x-select block tag. We'll keep the action the same. We'll declare it slightly differently. And now we don't have to set onChange explicitly. We'll keep the ID, and then we'll add in a value. This value will help emberx-select set the Boolean selected on the options. We're doing that manually now with the equals helper. So we'll be able to remove the selected and the equal helper. And then we'll replace the option. Once again, replacing it with X option and doing the value for this slightly differently. The each loop and the stuff in the center can stay the same. This is slightly better than what we had before, but in the component is where it really shines. So our select tag type, now it will take in a value and a component. And then we can get rid of all this messy DOM manipulation, and just set the value. This is much better. So we'll test it. This is currently a subject. Can see that it selects that automatically instead of the top one. We can change it, and it will save. So in this episode, we saw that ember-select-views are going to be deprecated, but we have 3 different options of getting past those deprecations. Ember-legacy-views, which will stay good until Ember 2.4, making your own custom select box using vanilla Ember, and using emberx-select. In this week's Pro episode, we'll show how to make our select boxes even more awesome. We'll create extra options. We'll create a prompt. We'll get our lists from multiple sources. And we'll learn how to create different options depending on who the user is or what state their account is in. I'll see you then.